It's not live, but it's lively. Welcome to the Evermore Studio. And your host, 𝗩𝗃𝗡𝗁𝗁.
Welcome to Vendor Spotlight, bringing you the very best in insurance technology. Now, pop quiz we're going to start with today. What do David Gandy, David Beckham and Ryan Gosling have in common? You're damn right. Tie clips. There's been a lot of controversy about the tie clip. I'm telling you, it's staying. It's forward fashion. I'm up there with all of the other supermodels. I'd like to think that they copied me, of course. Absolutely, why wouldn't they? And my guest today knows a thing or two about bold fashion choices. I've seen them walking the halls of Biber and Broker Expo in their wooden bow ties. But first, before I spoil the surprise, we need to usher down the panel of promise. So please, panel, come down from the ceiling. Join us in the room. I don't know why I'm talking to it like it's a person. That's a bit crazy. But my guest today is possibly the third most famous person in his native country. Behind Mina Savari, or Mina Savari's dad, technically, and former Arsenal goalkeeper Mart Poom. There's a niche reference for you there. Joining me, sounding much like a character from The Mandalorian in name, and I'm told I need to roll the R's, it is Risto Rossar from Inslee. Risto, welcome.
Thank you very much, Ed, and it's really pleasure to be in your fancy studio.
Fancy studio. I like that phrase, fancy studio. It makes it sound very bold. Well, it's a pleasure to have you here as well. As ever today, we're going to have your 5 killer questions, followed by the quickfire round. But first, tell me a little bit about yourself and how you came into insurance.
Yeah, I have born and raised in Estonia. I established my first InsurTech back in the year 2000, and that was a digital insurance broker company in Estonia. We started to sell insurance in internet already in the year 2001 as the aggregator, and then in 2014 I sold the broker business and span out part of the technology and the team to form Inslee. To kind of help other insurance businesses to become technologically as advanced as was my previous company.
Brilliant. Well, thank you very much. So we're going to move on to the 5 killer questions, as we call them. Are you ready? Are you strapped in?
Yes, absolutely ready.
Perfect. Well, question 1. So what do you do and how does it help brokers, MGAs and or insurers?
Yeah, Inslee is a no-code or low-code insurance software, and we help insurance companies to become digital, mostly today working with MGAs. And our toolbox includes like omnichannel distribution, policy administration, accounting, reports, and of course it integrates with claims and reinsurance stuff as well. So like that's in a big picture that we do. So we digitize insurance businesses.
Amazing. And what's the element of that offering of which you're most proud?
Clearly, we are most proud of our new product version that runs like on a no-code, low-code basis. So, and that means that we are able to set up the insurer or MGA IT system from quote and bind until the, let's say, financial ledger without writing any line of the software code. We were really fast with our previous version, but that new version kind of is like Inslee 3, as we called it, like on steroids. And in some cases, we are even able to kind of deliver the customer the system in the next morning after the meeting. Usually, of course, it's not like that. But when it's perfect customer, simple product, then it goes really fast. And we kind of see that in the future, it's quite obvious that customers, more advanced customers will even do it themselves. So I think that's we are ourselves really excited. And that feature is born out of maybe frustration of the implementation work, what has been not pleasant for us and not also pleasant for the customer. So we have worked hard to remove as much hassle from the implementation process as possible.
Brilliant. Sounds excellent. Well, I have got to ask you the killer question though, which we've moved forward a little bit. It's the horrible interview question. That's what's the biggest weakness you have right now?
I think that's certainly claims. And we we don't have the good claims module still. We have something, but we see that we imagine that the claims module needs to be much better. So we are now looking for someone to cooperate with, or we are also considering building our own claim stuff. So I think that's yet our weak point.
So let's throw that out to the audience. That's a challenge. Have you got a claim system? Are you in the market and you think it's the best claim system for MGAs? Because if you are, sounds like you need to, and I'm going to roll the R. I love rolling the R. Sounds like you need to contact Risto. I didn't even roll it. I can't. It didn't happen. It didn't happen in the time. Sounds like you need to contact him and present it, because it sounds like there's an opportunity there. Question number 4. What's your typical customer look like? What does your typical customer look like?
That would be probably today small and medium-sized MGA or the insurance company. And we could characterize our ideal customer as the one who has sufficiently simple product, not too complicated, and who is distributing through partners, let's say brokers. So in that case, in these two combinations, we are really we can deliver the best value for the money solution for the customers. Of course, we do other stuff as well, but if we could cherry pick only the ideal customers, then probably we would focus on these ones. But yeah, life is not perfect, so we do also maybe non-ideal customers, but yeah, I think we do these quite well as well.
Perfect. And what's the biggest success story you've had in your business thus far?
For us, probably going live with each new customer feels like a great success story, and I might share one of the success stories with you. So we have a customer called Paul, and he has been in insurance for around 25 years as a manager and an underwriter of big insurance companies in London. He got frustrated working with big corporates. We know how all that feels, and he decided to do his own MGA. He invested kind of most of his life savings into that, bootstrapped. Of course, he could have raised a lot of money with his background and done everything in a big scale, big IT project, recruited the team. But instead he went with Inslee. Because of his contact, he really grew his business quite fast to a few million pounds of gross written premium. Today, he's like completely his own boss, 100% owner, really happy. And I think creating a story like that is our biggest success story. And that's what we really want to continue doing.
I like that sentiment. Creating stories, you want to be part of that story. I like that. I'm gonna steal that one at some point, probably, because I'm like that. But thank you very much. That's the stressful part over. That's the stress ones. Now we've just got the completely meaningless fun questions to find out a little bit about you, more the human being behind the business. So are you ready for those ones?
Yes, these are most exciting ones.
So normally we ask people, what's your favorite word in the English language? But actually, I'd like to know, what's your favorite word in Estonian?
I will say you the word in Estonian, then you try to translate them. I think you can do that because it's a very international word. I think
no.
that word doesn't say probably a lot about linguistics, but it's kind of explains my mindset a lot. And that word would be 𝗪𝗘𝗓𝗪𝒫𝒄𝒪😃.
I'm going to blame it on the earpiece. Can't hear it well enough to have a go at it. Can we break it down into subsections?
𝗪𝗘𝗓𝗪𝒫𝒪😃. Your Estonian is pretty bad.
I think we all know that was not a success.
Yes, you failed completely. It's decentralized.
Oh.
I thought it sounded exactly like English word, but yeah, it's decentralized and I haven't that probably.
Lovely. That's a good one. I'm glad you chose a really easy one for me to have a go at. Thanks a lot. Absolutely butchered it. Risto, I'm absolutely good enough at butchering the English language without Estonian too. But thank you. I like it. Question number 2. If you could have any superpower in the world, what would it be?
That would certainly be removing at least 80% of everything what government does in the world. So I think then we would be in a much better world.
I think we would. I don't know if you saw, but there was an exchange on Twitter this week, and it was around the amount of money that had been spent by government on creating the kind of studio where they're doing their press announcements for. So their press announcements where they have the kind of the Union Jack flags. £2.6 million someone paid to design that.
And yours is probably better, right?
2.6.
And how much did you spend?
Probably, definitely better. I've offered my services for £2.2 million, and they can make a tidy saving. But yeah,
you didn't qualify.
I'm with you. I don't. Yeah, we don't want to get. I don't like to get too political on this, but I have to agree. I think some of the stuff that goes on is you can't say it's not ridiculous, can you? It is absolutely ridiculous. So no, that's a good one. Estonia's actually really interesting. I'm diverting slightly off script here, but I read, and Estonia was the first country that pretty much everything's gone online, right?
Yes, I think we, in principle, Estonians are really bad at sales and marketing, but that story we have sold really well. And there is some truth behind that as well. But I think the story is probably stronger than in real life. But compared to the average, I think we are really good. So that's clearly the case.
You vote online though, right?
Yes, we vote online. I wouldn't imagine voting going to the office, so it's really simple. 10 seconds done. So it's with the ID card, with the mobile ID, you can vote. In principle, you can do a lot of things in Estonia online. So it's very convenient. When I'm hearing the other people's interactions with the government, then I'm really happy that I am Estonian. So it's really easy to do everything.
Awesome. So let's see what the view is from Estonia on whether it is InsurTech with or without an E.
Certainly without. Yeah, never thought about that with E.
Every episode I get just a little bit more hopeful that someone's going to say with an E. Not because I think it's with an E, just because I've got all these animations prepared. There's going to be streamers coming from the ceiling, lighting, all sorts. But I haven't got to use it yet. It's been a wasted investment, but I'm with you. I don't think it has an E. Question number 4. In the story of your life, or a movie of your life, I should say, who would play you?
I'm not really much into the movies at the moment, but like if there should be someone, I think if Tom Hanks would be younger maybe than him. I don't know. Tom
Hanks is always a good choice.
That's the first thing. So that shows that I'm not really educated in the movie stuff. So if you say it's Tom Hanks, then
But I would argue that the fact you chose Tom Hanks shows that you are educated in movie, because you're educated in good movies. That's what it is, because Tom Hanks, probably more than anyone in Hollywood, has never made a bad movie. The man picks Cloud Atlas, actually, is probably the exception to that rule. That was a dreadful movie, but generally he makes very good movies. Question number 5. Who's your favourite other InsurTech?
Probably my favorite InsurTechs are the ones that I am actually working with and what I have personally invested in. So I'm not going to say you the famous names. I am saying you 4 names actually out of Estonia. And that's quite surprising that out of Estonia, you have actually quite many InsurTechs coming. One would be 𝗪𝗓. That's kind of similar to what Seago is doing in UK. Then there's a DriveX who is making photos of the car with the AI tool. So that's quite cool. Then Minudoc, the other name 𝗪𝗓, they do the telemedicine insurance. And then, of course, Black Insurance, with what I'm not really actively involved anymore, but my passion of creating insurance companies without the license, kind of on a blockchain, is still there. And there's actually few new ones created in that space. So that's my kind of passion for like everything what is in crypto, everything what is happening in a blockchain. And I think at one point insurance will get there, but it's a difficult road. It's a very difficult road. But there are interesting stuff going on. So I think these 4 companies are, of course, my favorite, because you always like the ones with whom you work with. So that's
of course, and it's nice to hear 4 different ones as well. Because as you say, there's all the famous ones, and we can say that, and we all know them. But actually finding out about new ones, it is always interesting, especially when they're kind of in Estonia, and I might not have a chance to come across them. So thank you for sharing those. question number 6. What's the best bit of business advice you've ever received?
I think it goes to the business, and it's also kind of applicable to the personal life. That's if things start getting worse, or if shit hits the fan, then usually the strategy what I do with my head is that you think about the worst case scenario that can happen. You learn to live with it, and then you just fully execute and try to make it better. So it's kind of always better to improve the worst case scenario than saving kind of the best case scenario, because mentally it's win, even if the end result is the same. So I think that has helped me kind of a lot, because always things don't go upside. So there are moments when things get sour. So I think that helps me like mentally quite a lot.
And if you could switch lives with any one person for the day, who would it be?
I have 4 kids, and I would think I would choose the 2-year one. He is really happy, and I'm seeing he interacting with the world. I think I would like to have the similar experience at the moment. It's like really kind of it's good. I'm happy to watch him, and maybe I think he would be the person of choice today.
I genuinely think that's my favourite answer to that question I've ever heard anyone answer. Most people will go for a famous person. So I was thinking, how would I answer it? I'm thinking of all the famous person, but actually going back and seeing the world through the eyes of a child again. What a lovely answer. I like that. I like that one a lot. My pad's turned off, so I'm turning it back on. So, I really like that. Number 8, your favourite non-insurance brand?
I think certainly Bitcoin.
So, are you into crypto?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm very much into crypto. I think it has a great future, and that's amazing innovation. Not only Bitcoin is probably like it's so simple, so beautiful, and if you think what's happening in the monetary system at the moment, so I would say it's a risky, but it's one of the less riskiest thing in a way, because the monetary system will break down at one point anyway, and it's difficult to imagine the world where Bitcoin doesn't have the place at the moment. What the place will be, we don't know, but it's if you learn to understand what it is, it's amazing innovation, and how it's played out. And I think and what's happening in DeFi, I'm really big fan of that. So I am.
And what do you make of NFTs?
Let's need to think about it this way. In a world today, there is 3 billion people gaming. Whether they whether they choose gold or Bitcoin, whether they select the art or the digital art, whether they select the banking system or the decentralized finance, DeFi, then I think that's where the answer is. NFT will go, I think, into complete boom. So, but NFT is something that will bring a lot of people into crypto without them understanding that they are using crypto. Let's say Jack Dorsey just sold their Twitter tweet as NFT. He's Bitcoin maximalist, but he didn't even probably understand that actually he was using Ethereum for that. So then there are like these other cryptocurrencies that are empowering, like Ethereum, what is empowering NFTs. People even don't understand that's behind that. But NFTs is like, that's what going to bring crypto to the mainstream. I think that's why it's a good thing. But what's happening now, it's kind of, with these moments, you get extreme bubbles. So I don't imagine myself at the moment buying a picture or the tweet digitally signed. And I don't have these, but I think it's a good marketing power. I think it's a good thing what's happening there. But I'm more into DeFi.
Someone suggested that I should sell the Evermore studio as an NFT, which I thought was an interesting concept. So question number 9. If you had a dinner party and you could have any 3 guests to it, who would you have and why?
Yeah, that goes maybe a bit similar angle than my child question. So I think taking into account that I'm running a startup, they have 4 kids. I think I would choose 3 dinners with my wife. So I don't remember when that happened the last time. So yeah, probably if that answer is allowed, then I will give this one.
That's absolutely allowed. And again, I think that's a really lovely answer to the question. So thank you for it. And finally, question number 10. This is the last one. What is your favourite sport or activity?
Recently, I have been really into windsurfing and surfing. So that's what I do as much as I can. And I also like to run a lot. So I have run a lot of marathons, but now it's more on the sea, wind, and I think it's kind of, it's for me, it's like modern day meditation. If you are windsurfing, you cannot think of anything else. It's like you are just in the flow, and that flow state is what is it's good to be there. It's kind of you get everything out of your mind, and it's fun.
Superb. Thank you very much. Well, thank you for all your answers. They've been fantastic. It has been loads of fun. I think everyone at home will agree. I appreciate it. If this is the kind of content you like, then please smash that like button and subscribe. Visit the YouTube channel. Also, drop some comments below. Tell us what you liked about it. Tell us any questions you've got. Tell us what you thought of the studio, what you thought of the guest, who you'd like to see on in future, whatever it might be. Drop that in the comments below. But in the meantime, please share with your boss, share with your travel agent, share with the other parents on the school pickup. I'm stumbling over the lines right at the last hurdle. I did this in the last episode as well. But for now, thank you. It is goodbye from Risto at 𝗏𝗡𝗏.
Bye bye.
And it's goodbye from me. Well, you're a glutton for punishment, staying all the way to the end, but I really appreciate it. Now, if you want more content like this, please make sure to subscribe over here, somewhere. Am I anywhere near it? Not sure. Or watch one of the extra videos up here. Peace! Pretty gangster. Yep. I'll be on that TikTok soon. Definitely.